I agree with
We
that.
are setting ourselves up in a position, now knowingly, where anybody can say anything in a written complaint and damage the reputation of an elected leader who does nothing other than work their tail off for this city, even when the complaint says on its face, I don't have anything to back this up, I don't know if it's true or not. And we're going to dignify that now?
We're just going to answer her very simply. Go to the person, go to the source and say, is it true? If she says, no, it's not true, then this is over with. It's done.
This has been
I don't think anybody should have a problem with that.
2.5 weeks.
So what's true? Go to the mayor, advise her to go file a complaint with the city attorney.
Or the city
We know
manager.
that's what happened, right? That's the complaint? That's what I read.
I would hope that if a employee came to you and alleged improprieties in their workplace, that your first phone call would be to the city attorney, and that your next phone call would be to direct that employee to the personnel rules we have set forth that provide a procedure for dealing with these type allegations.
Actually, that's pretty close to what did happen. I had a phone call from 2 different city employees who advised me of problems within the department, and both of those were addressed earlier. And my immediate phone call was to the city manager and advised him of the problem, and he took whatever steps I felt, well, at that point he felt necessary to fix it. That was the beginning and the end of my involvement in it. I didn't make a phone call back to the employee at that point because I didn't feel like it was necessary or any of my business to do so. So, again, I think this whole thing could let's just put it on the next agenda as a discussion item, just like we have here. And one of us or all of us go talk to Ms. Wright, and she says, you know, there wasn't an issue, she didn't feel pressured. Fine. It's done. It's over. I don't think there's any real reason for anybody, we're not.
And the city attorney's already reviewed the original email from Kevin Mack, and she already passed judgment saying there's nothing here. So we want
My
to.
judgment is under a reading of the ethics ordinance, and
Yeah,
none
I
of
mean, you
the
got a copy of
allegations
that.
in this complaint, even if they were true, which they're not, evidently fall within any of the parameters of the ordinance that the complaint has supposedly been made under.
So, well, what do we want to determine? I guess.
I don't think we're going to determine anything tonight.
Well, you have to determine whether it has merit, has no merit, or has sufficient merit to warrant further investigation. Commissioner Bradshaw?
On April the 2nd and April the 5th, how did y'all contact you and Kathy Wrights?
I don't have a calendar in front of me, I'm sorry. What was the day of the mediation?
April 5th or 6th.
I know it was Good Friday. I just don't know what date that was.
You mentioned a date a while ago that she approached you or emailed you. How did she contact you? Email?
Through a third party via email.
What was the date?
Friday.
I'm trying to find out. Hold on. The 6th was Good Friday?
I think so. It was wasn't it the first weekend in April?
So she would have filed her complaint on
So I think the 6th was a Friday in April.
Thursday, the 5th. And I received her original complaint on Monday, April 2nd.
Through via someone else's email.
Yes.
But you spoke with her on that day, Ms. Wrights.
After I went to see the city attorney to share this with her, she asked me to call Ms. Wrights and ask her whether she was attempting to make a formal complaint, and if the answer was yes, to direct her toward the personnel policy, the personnel manual, and the appropriate procedures. I don't recall whether that all occurred in one phone call or whether there were 2 phone calls.
But you called her to tell her?
Yes, I was advised to.
By
the city attorney.
Okay. And on the 5th, I think, was that the day before the testimony or something? She submitted her written complaint. It says in this report from Kristen, on April 5th, the day Ms. Wrights submitted her written complaint, Ms. Wrights telephoned Mayor Elam to inform her she had filed her complaint with Mr. Shear. But now I'm not saying that didn't happen. I'm just trying to find out what happened. But on the activities, phone calls, it shows that you made the call to her.
I believe she called me and left a message, and I was returning her call, to the best of my memory. And she did fax to me the official complaint that day that she submitted to the city manager.
Can I ask why she faxed it to you and not to Rob or to Jill?
She delivered it to Rob, is my understanding. Somebody was here.
Or you got a copy, is what you're saying?
Yes, I got a faxed copy of it. I did not know it was coming. I was surprised when it arrived.
I see this multi-page thing referring to that we're putting in the public realm.
If I'm going to share it with you, I'm going to read it.
No, I don't put it in the Can I look at
I'm
it?
thinking about reading it anyway.
Great. I just have to see it.
Nope.
You have tonight to determine three things. I mean, looking at this complaint that you have before you, to determine whether it has merit, whether it doesn't have merit, or whether it has sufficient merit to warrant further investigation.
If this was on the agenda as a resolution or something of that nature, we would have the opportunity to defer it to the next meeting, would we not?
I have not gotten the sense that the commission wants to defer it other than you.
I'm just asking to defer it one meeting and make that phone call and be done with it.
Are you making a motion?
Yes.
I'll second it.
Can you have a motion to defer on the discussion?
We're voting on a discussion item, which is also not appropriate, I don't think. But
I'll have to
I don't.
take them.
Is there a consensus of 3 members of the commission to defer for some reason? If there's not, then we'll keep going.
I mean, we got 2 of us. I don't know without a vote whether
I'm
we.
giving the other 2 an opportunity to say that's what they want to do or not.
I'm torn, I don't know. I'm
We
serious.
need to get back to work.
I agree
We
with
need to stop all this nonsense.
I'll ask my questions again. I mean, we're making a determination if there's merit in the complaint that you provided advice to Mrs. Wright to how to properly handle the complaint, right? And some people were saying, Kevin Mack is saying that that was wrong.
No, that's not what he's saying. And that's not the big question I asked, by the way. I'm sorry, Mayor. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give the opportunity, if Mr. Wright or Ms. Wright, either one wants the opportunity to complain about the way the mayor handled this, if they feel like she handled this in an unethical manner, I'm going to give them the opportunity to say that. Now, hold on a second. That's the reason we're deferring this and not making a determination tonight on whether or not there's merit, no merit, or anything else. What I want to do is I want to get a phone call into Kathy Wright and let her make the decision as to whether or not she's going to say that Mayor Elam did anything wrong. I don't believe she's going to do that. I don't believe that Mr. Wright would do that. So I could probably tell you by 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon that I probably will find that there will be no merit in my individual opinion, but I'm not willing to make that decision tonight.
We've had 2.5 weeks.
I'm not willing to make that decision tonight.
Commissioner Sellers, did you have some action you were leaning toward?
Fine, I'll make a motion that, that we move forward on the grounds that there's no merit here. If somebody wants to second that, let's move on and get this thing done with. Otherwise, go otherwise.
Commissioner Bradshaw, would you like to second that?